Everybody knows about the 2013 Hall of Fame inductee and star point guard, Gary Petyon. When the legendary athlete retired from professional basketball, he left some big shoes to fill. The Glove's very own son chose to take up the mantle and emerged as one of the Warriors' most unexpected crucial players. To know about his journey and a whole lot more, keep watching. Payton Jr. hasn't had the easiest journey. Payton II went undrafted in 2016, and his path to the NBA ran into trouble. He played in 6 games for the Rockets' Summer League team before being waived. Soon after, he joined the Rio Grande Valley Vipers, the Rockets' G League affiliate. He dropped 51 points on the Los Angeles Defenders not long into his G League stint, displaying the first signs of his athleticism. He signed with the Milwaukee Bucks, another of his father's former teams, in April 2017. He was waived by the Bucks at the end of the 2017 preseason, but was given a 2-way contract a couple of days later for the Wisconsin Herd in the G League. However, he was waived by the Bucks again in December of that year. Payton II would spend a few years bouncing between the NBA and the G League, with periods with the Los Angeles Lakers, Rio Grande, the Washington Wizards, the South Bay Lakers, and the 905 Raptors. He signed a 10-day agreement with the Golden State Warriors in April 2021, then another 1-day contract when the first one expired. The Warriors then signed him for the remainder of the season, and the following season before waiving and re-signing him in October. Payton II has played in 11 games this season, tallying up an impressive 6 points, 2.3 rebounds, and 1.2 steals per game. Payton II would seem to have found his spot with the Golden State Warriors after stints with 5 G League teams and 4 NBA franchises over a 5-year span. Gary Petyon trash-talked his son into college basketball stardom. It was tricky enough for Gary Petyon II to grow up with the same name as his renowned NBA father. Playing the game he wasn't sure he liked under the ruthless supervision of a legend only made matters worse. The fact of the matter is that Gary Petyon II was never wired the same as his father. While the senior Payton's hot-headed character became associated with his immense talent, the younger Gary Petyon had a temperament more akin to his mother, Monique. Payton II was calm and considerate, unmistakably pleasant, and well-liked by those who encountered him. Those adjectives can only become derogatory in the ruthless world of athletics. Payton II admits that there was a moment in his life when he feared the notion of his father attending his games. He was soft. He was really soft. Payton said to SB Nation, I just told my son straight up, I don't like your game. I don't think you're good enough to play at the next level or any level. I don't have to waste my time coming here. The very same rough love that nearly broke Payton II inspired hard effort, driving him to spend summers in the gym working on his physique and his skills. That shy high school student who once carried his father's reputation like a weight is now challenging it at Oregon State, seeking to lead the Beavers back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since a senior guard named Gary Petyon led them there in 1990. His dad didn't think he would choose OSU. Payton II truly came into his own during his junior year in college. The young player was suddenly filling the stat sheet and was on his way to being awarded a second-team NJCAA All-American. He received many Division I offers, including one from Oregon State. Gary Petyon Sr. never imagined his son would accept it, believing he would rather build up his own identity at St. Mary's, a WCC school a quarter of the size of OSU. Payton II sent his family a lengthy text message after months of deliberation. It began with a thank you for their support and finished with 2 words: Go Beavs. He doesn't have his father's tongue. Players might walk up to Payton II and start trash talking, expecting him to respond the same way the legend himself did. But that's not the case, as the Glove's son doesn't have the same tendencies. Most of the time, the point guard will choose to probably irritate the rival players by touching them and being in their space. Most of the time, Payton Jr. just seems to enjoy the competitive banter. Wild Payton family nights. How competitive are family game nights at the Payton family house in Las Vegas, you might wonder? Very competitive. Payton II tells Bleacher Report how if you make a mistake in the game, you'll definitely receive a party foul. Gary Petyon doesn't let anyone leave the house without paying. What actually constitutes a party foul, you might wonder? The glove has a bathroom rule that says you can only go to the bathroom every half hour on the hour. So if someone wants to commit a party foul, they can take a shot and go use the restroom, but they'll have to pay for it by drinking any type of alcoholic beverage. Payton II is good at golden tee. I'm the best in golden tee for sure. Hands down, not even a discussion. My putting is phenomenal. I have an all-around game in golden tee. But once I get to the green, my putting is, it just doesn't matter how far or what the slope is. It doesn't matter. I'm an elite putter. A jack of all trades, the young glove is even a spectacular player at Uno. In a game of strategy and smarts, no wonder he's good at it. You gotta know how to use your hand and be strategic and smart. One of my best friends, Langston Morris Walker, is actually a great Uno player. But most of the time I do come out on top, and my father is the one leaving the house a little too drunk. Payton II disclosed to Bleacher Report. His offense isn't the best. Payton's defense doesn't require any promotion whatsoever, and you'd know why if you've seen even a little bit of his brilliant work. But it's a lack of offense that has kept him out of the league all these years. In his G League career, he only shot 27% from three. Throughout his early career, his shooting skill, or lack thereof, was viewed negatively both by players and coaches. It's a low number, but Payton II is now shooting 39.1% from three-point range to begin the season. The improvement is due to the efforts of Daryl Jordan, who works on the point guard's repetitions. Daryl, now an assistant coach with the Iowa Wolves, helped Payton II figure out where his spots were going to come. The pair trained with mostly catch and shoots to keep the reps going. Darrell actually started with Payton II's brother first, and then got the young athlete in the gym with him. They've been continuing to work on shots, different actions, and dribbling. All these efforts are for one reason: to make the young glove's game a complete all-around game. He's becoming a master of dunking. "I'm an in-game dunker," Payton said. Despite being shorter than all but one player on the Warriors roster and emerging as the team's leading challenger above the rim, he's labeled as a guard, but plays like a power forward in Golden State's offense. His skills allow him to slam home lobs on set plays. He's already hit the rim 9 times this season, tied for the team lead with Andrew Wiggins. But in only 1/3 of the time. More than a quarter of the shots Payton has tried this season have been dunks. In the words of Otto Porter Jr., Gary plays like he's 6'8". His game is molded around the rim, lob threats, offensive rebounds. Payton II is a man of the people. When NBA TV chose to mic up Warriors guard Gary Petyon II for its coverage of Golden State versus the Pacers, the crew was most likely trying to catch the customary, enjoyable in-game interactions and conversation between players. Instead, fans were given an example of Payton II simply being a decent guy, which was also quite awesome. Payton II leaned back around the stationary bike during Monday's game in Indianapolis and accidentally tipped over a fan's cup. He immediately saw what he had done, apologized, inquired as to what the fan was having, and made an attempt to get the drink replaced. That's right, there is some actual fan-player engagement. Payton II even stopped over later to check on the fan and make sure everything was going well. He prefers one nickname over another. As his profile has grown, so has the temptation to follow up on his father's infamous nickname. He prefers one nickname over another. As his profile has grown, so has the temptation. He prefers one nickname over another. As his profile has grown, so has the temptation to follow up on his father's infamous nickname. Gary Petyon II just wants you to know one thing. Don't call him the Mitten. He thinks Young Glove suits him pretty well, and accurately describes his life journey as the son of Hall of Famer Gary the Glove Petyon. The point guard thinks Mittens is childish, and we can't disagree. That's all we have for you guys today. Thanks for watching.